Let's have a quick conversation about e-commerce fulfillment, and we want to compare and contrast three players in this niche. So I want to talk about ShipBob versus fulfillment.com versus Amazon FBA. So here are the considerations I want you to think about. So I want to first start with ShipBob. So when you think about ShipBob, I want you to think about a third-party logistics service that really provides e-commerce businesses with what they call on-demand warehousing and fulfillment services. So ShipBob is more of a holistic provider of fulfillment services. They do on-demand warehousing. And what we love about the ShipBob is that they not only focus on e-commerce businesses, but also offline businesses. In other words, retail, brick and mortar businesses. And the company's network of fulfillment centers offers clients the clients have access to a fast, reliable shipping to their customers, as well as tools such as real-time tracking. This is really cool. The real-time tracking is really fantastic. You have inventory management. You have analytics. So long story short, when you close your eyes and think about ShipBob, think about a company that help you increase your efficiency by allowing you to scale operations while reducing cost and ensuring customer satisfaction on a scalable manner. So what are the pros and cons of ShipBob here? Let's dig a little deeper. So the pros, you have a substantial US presence with almost 24 locations across the United States. You have over 90 integrations across the e-commerce landscape. And those integrations include a storefront, logistics, marketing, and more. You have a two-way shipping, which is actually the default offering for orders in the United States. There are no minimum requires to sign up. You have a 99.95% order fulfillment accuracy rate. This is a great benchmarking item. You have transparent pricing for all of their standard services, and you have the self-service growth plan for getting started at no cost. So that's really cool. It's important to really understand that ShipBob's pricing transparency and lack of minimum monthly spending requirements make it, in our view, a great solution for startups. And so while some 3PL services charge upwards of $500 per month, ShipBob's $0 minimum spend gives small businesses access to high-quality logistics solutions and fulfillment nationwide. What about some of the cons here, the drawbacks when we talk about ShipBob? Support for Amazon businesses is decent, but they lock out many potential clients with the 400 order minimum per month minimum. They take no responsibility for damage to a customer's inventory in their control. You must provide insurance on your own. Storage costs are high, though they may be an issue if your inventory moves quickly. And they do not offer Amazon seller fulfilled Prime services. Let's dig a little deeper when it comes to pricing here. So we have to really understand what's happening. So when you think about ShipBob, they charge you for, they actually have an itemized way of looking at things. So they have receiving, storage, pick and pack, materials, shipping, returns, and special projects. So this is kind of cool because you have an a la carte sort of a pricing model. And so, for instance, they charging you for receiving, they're charging you $25 per hour for the first 2 hours and $40 per person per hour after that. For storage, they're charging you $40 per pallet per month and $10 per shelf per month and $5 per bin per month. You also have the pick and pack. So the pick and pack is free for the first 4 packs, the first 4 picks rather, and then you have a 20 cents each after that. For materials, the handling is free. Shipping actually varies based on several factors. For instance, the carrier, the destination, the weight, the size, and more. So it really depends on a lot of things. And for the returns, you have a $3 per order. So something to really keep in mind. And for special projects, this will set you back $45 per person per hour. So overall, what we love about the ShipBob is that you have a 99.95% order accuracy. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility. Okay. You also have the 2-day shipping. So that's an important feature, an important module, an important value adding sort of capacity of ShipBob to really actually streamline help you streamline your operations. And we love the fact that with ShipBob, you have an integrated and powerful web-based portal that allows you really to track your inventory, orders, billing, and order analytics from a single location. And in ShipBob, you have an FBA certified provider, because if you sell products that must meet strict FDA requirements, ShipBob's warehouses can accommodate them, not a problem. Okay, so that's an extra there. You have climate control, so if you're selling products that need to stay within a certain temperature range or may get damaged if they get too warm, ShipBob has you covered, unlike some providers with warehouses that can reach triple digits. So this is really cool. In terms of the warehouse locations, they have locations actually. They have 29 to 35 warehouses across the globe. In the United States, they have 23, and internationally, they have 6 to 10. So in the states, they have in Illinois, Kentucky, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Arizona, and California. And overseas, they have Australia, Canada, Poland, and United Kingdom. So that's really cool. Let's talk about fulfillment.com. And when you think about fulfillment.com, I want you to think about a player that really does a lot of stuff when it comes to e-commerce fulfillment, but at a very higher level. We're talking about high volume, and they actually are very good because they actually can actually help you out in terms of fulfillment at a global level. So think about fulfillment.com as an e-commerce order fulfillment and storage provider created in 2011. So they've been around for a while now. This is about 15 years that they've been in business. This is just fantastic. And what we love about the fulfillment.com is that they actually give you a pricing model that actually is based on your order, your volume, your transactional volume, your inventory volume. So inflows and outflows. And one thing I want to say here is that there is actually no account setup fee, but there is a deposit fee of $1,500 to, they actually require that to actually secure the receipt of services. Okay, that's just because in the past few years, they've had instances where some e-commerce players were not really serious. So fulfillment.com was really losing a lot of cash. And so they wanted to sort of buttress their risk mitigation strategy by actually requiring actually a deposit fee. So what we love about fulfillment.com is that they have actually facilities. Now, their facilities are not as many as ShipBob's, because they have 4 facilities in strategic locations across the United States. So they have, by using all 4 locations, you can actually reach any region of the United States in 1 to 2 days. So the thing is that if you are considering fulfillment.com, if you're looking to use multiple facilities, their main location is in Savannah, Georgia. And so you're able to, from there, you're able to reach the continental U.S. population in 1 to 3 days. And facilities in the U.S. are located in Salt Lake City, Kansas, Brenningsville, and Savannah. So products can be shipped efficiently to any region of the U.S. And so now the thing is that they also have facilities in the U.K., Canada, the Netherlands, and Australia. So you can also reach clients worldwide. Okay. In terms of services, when you think about the fulfillment.com, I want you to think about services that really cover storage, picking, packaging, and shipping. So, and you're talking about all kinds of locations. So that's really cool in terms of scalability. So we love that a lot. So you can see on the screen here, they have 8 strategically placed fulfillment locations worldwide. Okay, 4 in the States and 4 overseas. Let's talk about fulfillment.com software. So they have a software too. So this is not just a network of warehouses that they have. They also have software to actually help you out. Now their software is an order management and warehouse management system. So they call it Best OMS. And Best OMS is a cloud-based e-commerce order management system that allows you to track inventory, order data, depletion rates, and reports. And as a client, you can also view, edit, reorder, and create new orders through the same system. So in terms of centralization, that's just really fantastic. And Best OMS is also updated frequently to ensure inventory and product information is always up to date. And we also love the fact that fulfillment.com's software contains your business's financial information, An accounting page is included on Best OMS that breaks down fees per order and provides monthly statements. So billing reports and data can also be downloaded from a Best OMS to enter into your business's accounting software. So, and the cool thing also is that selling through multiple sites and channels is also possible through a Best OMS. And Fulfillment.com is really integrated with over 70 to 80 platforms, marketplaces, and websites. So I'm talking here about the likes of Amazon, Etsy, eBay. You have Shopify, you have BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and so on and so forth. So bottom line is you have a large variety of options from where your products can be sold. So that's really good because it gives you possibilities. What are the pros and cons of Fulfillment.com here? The pros first. Fulfillment.com covers almost every standard fulfillment service needed to store and distribute products, and managing your inventory is made easy with Best OMS. So having a centralized management system makes monitoring financials and product information as painless as possible. And the company also has many services that are appealing to those looking to grow their business. And the Fulfillment.com has international distribution centers that would allow you to expand your business globally. So in terms of scalability, not a problem. Expansion is further facilitated by a personal success manager who handles order management, Best OMS training, and overall business advice. And they even include a free e-commerce education video to help customers learn more about e-commerce from industry experts. What about some of the cons of this service here? Though promising no hidden costs or fees, Fulfillment.com does not offer clear pricing for each of their services on their websites. So this makes it very difficult for you to gauge how much you would pay for their services without going through the steps of requesting a quote, right? And this is a bummer, really, when you think about it. Another potentially large con for smaller businesses and startups looking for fulfillment services, the company is a large fulfillment company and focuses on high volume fulfillment customers. So this is something that really could be a problem for smaller players. I want to talk to you now about Amazon FBA. So when you think about Amazon FBA, of course, FBA fulfillment by Amazon, right? So the thing is that it's important to understand that when you think about Amazon FBA, I want you to think about a service that's provided by one of the, if not the biggest e-commerce player of today's age, right? Amazon. So basically, the question is selling on Amazon profitable? Well, it depends, because revenue doesn't tell the whole story of someone's business. You can have $1 million in sales, but you're not making any money if your costs are over that, right? So compared to other traditional businesses such as brick and mortar, Amazon sellers see relatively higher profit margins. So basically, as 57% of Amazon sellers achieve profit margins greater than 10%. 28% of Amazon sellers earn at least a 20% profit margin, which is really, really healthy and really good. And 30% of Amazon sellers have seen lifetime profits over $50,000. So that's really cool. So when you think about the Amazon FBA, I want you to think about a service that's constantly scaling, right? Let's look at the pros and cons of Amazon FBA. So the pros first, you have access to Amazon's loyal customer base. If you use FBA, Amazon takes care of logistics, and you also have prime shipping. Let me break it down for you. When I say access to Amazon's loyal customer base, I mean Amazon.com receives nearly 3 billion visits per month and has over 300 million prime customers worldwide. That's huge. As a small single-person business, you can list products on a website that receives millions of visits per day. And if you use Amazon's FBA program, you will send your inventory to Amazon's fulfillment centers, and they will handle the storage, order fulfillment, and even customer service for you. You also have a prime shipping, so when sellers use FBA to fulfill their orders, your products will receive the prime badge and have access to Amazon's sizable prime customer base that orders exclusively from prime sellers. So that's really cool. What about the cons here? When we think about Amazon FBA, you have storage fees, you have FBA fees, and you also have a process that is easy for customers to return items. because Amazon really focuses on customers first. Okay, so that's really a problem. So how much money and time does it take to sell on Amazon? So when we talk about Amazon FBA, it's important to understand that the money you can make on Amazon depends on your niche, depends on your experience, depends also on the kind of products you are selling. In terms of fees, you may encounter several fees as an Amazon FBA seller. So you have referral fees, you have FBA fees, that's an important element. You have FBA storage fees, and you have subscription fee. So when we talk about, let me break it down for you. So when we talk about referral fees, the referral fee is paid by all Amazon sellers. Whether you fulfill orders using FBA or FBM, it is the commission paid to Amazon for each item sold on their platform. Typically, this fee is a flat percentage of 15% or less. In terms of FBA fees, if you use fulfillment by Amazon for your products, Amazon will charge you an FBA fee, which really depends on the weight and size of your products. For example, if you sell a small standard sized product that is 15 by 12 by 0.75 inches or less and weight 4 ounces or less, you will pay $3.22 fulfillment fee. You also have FBA storage fees. So bottom line here is that Amazon FBA is trying to really make sure that they run a profitable operation, which you should also. Now, one thing for sure, you need to understand that whether you should go with Amazon or not, it really depends on the niche you're in. So while the competition has increased over the past couple of years, selling on Amazon can still be profitable for new sellers, as you actually can really see. In fact, if you sell in the US marketplace, it is considered the least competitive Amazon marketplace. So it's important to really see what happens in your business and to analyze what works and what doesn't work. Nearly 600,000 new sellers will have signed up to sell on Amazon this year. I mean, when you think about it, that is a vast number of sellers. But remember that Amazon's market share continues to grow every month, quarter, year, however you want to look at it. So this is so you have the possibilities there. So, is Amazon FBA really worth it? It is. It takes a decent amount of time and money to start, and contrary to popular belief, it is not a set it and forget it type of venture. Not at all. So what is the approach here? How do you actually ShipBob versus fulfillment.com versus Amazon FBA? Which one should you go for? In other words, how do you choose a fulfillment center for e-commerce in the first place? Well, I want to share with you a few deciding factors you need to really pay attention to as you are making your choice. First of all, you need to understand that there is a difference between a fulfillment center and a warehouse. A warehouse is a building used to store large volumes of inventory for extended periods of time until it's needed. Warehouse spaces also tend to be fairly low activity buildings, only moving items in and out as needed. On the other hand, fulfillment centers work to pick, pack, and ship out all the orders that come in from your e-commerce business. Also known as a third-party logistics, 3PL provider is actually sometimes it's called also a fulfillment center. So this is basically a much busier place with a lot of activity. The fulfillment center stores inventory like a warehouse does, but also provides the logistics to send orders out to customers. And products only remain in a fulfillment center for a short period of time before they are shipped out. Those centers are also equipped with tools for processing orders, managing inventory, returns management, labeling, and packaging, and more. So it's one of those things where when you think about ShipBob versus fulfillment.com versus Amazon FBA, ask yourself, are you looking for scalability? Are you looking for order cutoff time? You got to look at zone shipping. You got to think about shipping cost. That's an important element. Shipping cost. You also want to consider customer support services, transparency and visibility, for instance, and fulfillment software capabilities and integrations. If that's important for you, you need to make sure that you have a tool that has the integrations. So what is our preference here? ShipBob versus fulfillment.com versus Amazon FBA. Which one should you go for? our preference goes to ShipBob. Why? Because ShipBob actually gives you more flexibility. If you are on Amazon FBA, of course the market is huge, but you also have a large constellation of fees. On ShipBob, you can still be on Amazon, but have ShipBob as your fulfillment center. Fulfillment.com is also good, but they have a lower number of warehouses or fulfillment centers than ShipBob. And even though Amazon is the larger behemoth, it's the behemoth here in terms of e-commerce fulfillment, we still prefer the agility, if you will, of ShipBob. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, here is the bottom line. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about ShipBob versus Fulfillment.com versus Amazon FBA. I gave you the consideration, the approach, our preference, and now the bottom line. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.